Welcome, it's Eva. This is gonna be a different type of video. I'm gonna do cooking, so I guess it's Eva Cooks. And the book I'm using, or in my fabulous kitchen, is The Stash Plan. The chick from, what was it, Orange is the New Black? The one who was their girlfriend. She wrote this book with a dietitian, and I've used it for several years, but really, to be honest, only when I'm trying to lose weight, because it totally works. And I am gonna make one dish that's hers, which is Brussels sprouts and turkey bacon. Well, I don't know if she used turkey bacon, but I do. But the other one I'm making is just kind of something I do, but I'm sure she's got something in there about, it's just like potatoes. It's not that exciting, because I always envisioned like doing some kind of cooking show in the past, but when I thought about it, I always thought I'd make these amazing, elaborate concoctions. Like, I have made really cool stuff. Like, once I made beef Wellington, which took like 3.5 hours in Seattle, and it was completely amazing. But I mean, the method to get there was, I was not like, I was not a calm person, so I probably would never do that again. Or if I did it again, I would do it by myself, because my 4 family members had to watch me be insane for that period of time until it came out perfectly. But what I decided I'm gonna do is just like, right now I'm just squeezing garlic. This filming is gonna suck because I don't really know what I'm doing, but the next time I do it, I'll have it like, maybe I'll have a camera looking at the food and one looking at me. This is just cut up potatoes. It's not like that dramatic, but I'm like, put like just like mini potatoes, and then I always use this thing where I like chop up turnips and I put them in with the potatoes, but you only do like 1/4 of it turnips, because they're really bitter. Okay, now I'm just using pressing garlic because I'm kind of bougie and I can't stand these like not using real garlic, so I'm using like, you know, the real thing, and squeezing it in here. And so the trick with turnips is they're like way healthier for you than a potato. I guess somebody could get on the comments and say that's not correct, but in my mind it is. So I'm gonna put the two together. My grandmother used to get like she would just whip the turnips by themselves with like garlic and salt and I think onion, and she would just make turnips alone. But I mean, they're an acquired taste, so I always mix them with potatoes to knock out the bitterness. And then you have to soak the potatoes 20 minutes in just water to get the starch out. And then I just put them in like a glass dish with cut up in pieces with garlic and onion. And I'm gonna use mini peppers because they're like a lot cheaper and they stay good longer. So why am I doing this whole diet thing? I think I've been on a diet like forever, but I'm never really very successful because I love food, and I like food that's more like Italian or Mexican, so that would involve like, you know, things that like cheese and I love bread, And these are all like the wrong things to be doing when you're trying to lose weight. One time I lost weight super fast. It was like in 2.5 months, I lost like 15 pounds and I looked amazing. And the way I did it is I did no carbs, no meat. And I still had sugar because I like a latte in the morning, so I still did sugar. But the main thing is I just cut out like pasta, bread, and like all meat. And I'm trying to think what else. I mean, I wasn't eating like, I had dark chocolate. I think that's the only sweet I was allowed to eat. And like, yeah, that was it, dark chocolate. And it totally worked. But I don't really want to live like that all the time. So now I just do like partial days. Oh, not partial days, what am I saying? I do like intermittent fasting. So it's like part of the day I'll fast, and then the second half of the day I'll eat, you know, like, I don't know, like lunch and dinner. Sparingly though. But the problem, or like I'll cut out, sometimes I won't eat dinner, I'll just have lunch, you know, like whatever I feel like doing. I'm like a big fan of whatever feels appropriate. Like, right? Like I just use my intuition. Like I just take ideas out of books and I don't follow them 100% like most of the time. I mean, I'm going to do it with this Brussels sprout, but in general, like I know how to cook, I know how to bake. You know, my grandmother raised me doing it. I listened to her. She was the best cook I ever met in my whole life. This is on my mother's side. And this is actually the kitchen she used to be in, but because this is my grandparents' home that we took over, but it wasn't this heinous yellow back then. Anyway, she didn't write anything down on like her recipes, so I've had to like make up a bunch of what I think she probably did recipes and try to follow what she did. The only one she ever wrote down was some birthday cake thing with icing. Like, she just wrote it in the margins. But she had this like competition with her. Right now I'm cutting onions. This sucks. I don't know how to film this. Okay. Anyway, I'll just tell you, I'm cutting onions. So, her and her sister had this competition and about cooking because they lived here and I lived here with them because I got adopted by them. And I guess the thing was like the way they, I guess, felt like they were like on top, you know, like the best cook is they would like never write anything down. So like the other sister would never know, you know, what their ingredients were. Of course, this was all before the internet and all that. But I mean, I don't really remember my great aunt like cooking here, so I'm kind of like, okay, so like if she wasn't really cooking anymore, like why are we doing this competition still? But that's what was going on. And then it sucked because then when they passed away, I didn't know any of the things how they made things. So I love baking and cooking, and this is like the best way to do her diet plan, honestly, is to do where I would always have like a super Sunday where you just make as much as possible. Like I would just start cooking like, I don't know, like early for me in the morning, which is late morning, and then on a weekend, and then I would just do it all the way to like dinner and just power prep everything in one day. But I mean, it kind of sucks because when you're eating this sort of healthier type of diet, If you're just eating vegetables and you're never eating meat at all, I mean, literally all you're doing is food prep, in my opinion. All I did was chop things up and literally like juice forever. And I didn't bake bread, but I would like to start doing that. But I made my own crusts, like if I used anything that, you know, like if I made pierogies or could made anything that needed phyllo dough, I would do that. But you know, that takes tons and tons and tons of time. So usually what happens is I do these diets and I get super frustrated because I feel like it's not so much eating the stuff, it's that you spend literally all your time in the kitchen or at the grocery store, because most everything is produce, so you know, you want it to be fresh. Well, I do, because like I said, I'm a little snob about stuff, so in the kitchen anyway. So I just made a bunch of these peppers and cut them, and I'm just putting them in here, and I put the oven on 400, and then I just spread like olive oil and a bunch of seasoning. I just use virgin olive oil and obviously salt and pepper, and then I started using, I think it's, I can't pronounce it, but it's like French seasoning. It's like herbs de Provence or something. Of course, it's not here. But anyway, so what am I going to do with this show? I just decided I'm just going to make your average healthy meals that are basically maybe taken from cookbooks, but then it's kind of like Cake Doctor. Like, then I just sort of do whatever I want and make my own sauces or make my own dressings. And I mean, I don't want to follow what other people do all the time, because I like to be creative, so I don't want to follow the whole thing. But I do start with other people's recipes. Like, I guess I do it like 50%. And I'm gonna just make, like I said, it's just gonna be average food. Like, that doesn't mean it's gonna be like not amazing. It just means it's gonna be like nothing like super duper like time consuming or something you would make for like, I don't know, like a romantic dinner, like a dinner party, or, you know, it's not gonna be anything like that. It's gonna be just like average food.